What up YouTube, it's Misery, it's Company. In this video, we are doing our Reddit recap. Now, I personally very much enjoy the Reddit recap. Hopefully you guys are as well. If you do enjoy the Reddit recap and want to see this continue on the channel, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button as well as the like button on all these videos. I will be fully transparent. They are the not the best performing videos on my channel. However, I feel like it is a great opportunity to voice the concerns, either positive, negative, or even funny in some cases, from the community that is very vocal on the Diablo Immortal subreddit. So I would like to continue doing it as long as we as a community can give that support to what we're doing here. And at the end of the day, I just enjoy making content for Diablo Immortal, so I don't mind, but I would love to give that sort of like virtual high five from you guys, showing me you want me to keep doing this by liking the video. Costs you nothing, but helps the algorithm a great deal so we can get this content out to more people. And then maybe one day, you never know, maybe Blizzard will actually see something that we talk about and we'll maybe even take our feedback. Yeah, you never know. But this is our Diablo Immortal Reddit recap, and let's get straight to it because I got some really good ones for this one. Okay, so like a good content creator, I just continue to, work on my craft. So I'm doing it a little bit differently now. I have preemptively looked at several subreddits within the Diablo Immortal subreddit and made multiple tabs to look through them. That way we don't have to worry about the weird, lagging or whatever that happened on some of the other videos with some of the videos. You know what I meant. But anyway, let's continue. So again, we are on the Diablo Immortal subreddit, r/Diablo Immortal. If you guys are posting content here, there is a very high possibility, I do this every week, that I might see some of your content if it is upvoted. So make sure you're making good quality content because I do check this every single week. Now, and also let me know in the comments if I covered any of your, feedback or information on the Diablo Immortal subreddit, because I think it'd be really cool to shout you out. So let's get straight to it. First one is... Monks can now have Mystic allies active 100% of the time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leeway. This was found in the guide section of the Diablo Immortal subreddit. Nowhere else, okay? I just want to lead with that. So he goes into, make sure I get just his post in here. All right, so requires the 3 Mythic ally legendaries as well as Awakened gems on them, plus Freedom of Devotion rank 10. I'm also running Hydra and Echoing Shade. Yes, I only use this build for circle farm, contracts, bounties, and rifts, using both Mystic Strike and Flying Kick for mobility, Mystic Ally and Wave of Light for damage. Mystic allies are strong enough to kill mobs, and I dash around. The mobility of this build is insane. I'm currently farming Hell 7. Only on yellow elites I have to stop to clear. Makes perfect sense. Sounds like a very good guide. If you're interested, here it is. Take a quick little screenshot of the legendaries. I don't know the names offhand, but apparently this is how you can keep 100% uptime on your Mystic allies. Now, the reason I wanted to cover this post is the top voted comment, which just made me laugh. And it's right here. It says, Necromancer with extra steps. I mean, you know what? He's not wrong. That is exactly what it is right there. Shout out to XP0. I mean, I saw that. As you can see, I upvoted it. It was so funny when I saw it. You're reading through, requires 3 Mystic allies, legendaries, Awakened gems, which is not free to play friendly, and then Devotion, Freedom plus Freedom Devotion rank 10. So very, very specific things to make this build happen. And this man's just like, or just play the Necro. I love it. Hats off to that. That was fantastic. But again, it sounds like a viable build for farming as a monk if you have everything that he listed available to you. Moving on. This one I did want to cover. So worth coming back to the game. It says, hi all, I played Diablo Immortal when it first came out and only played for about a week before stopping due to all the problems going on with how pay to win it was. Now some time has passed and I was wondering if it is worth getting back into the game. I balanced things out a bit. Any major changes between then and now? Things to know in general. Thank you in advance for any input you have. Very seemed like meaningful post by Dragon to Man. And then the first one, as you could imagine, is your typical Diablo Immortal response. No, the game is still pay to win. If you're not invested in this predatory gotcha game, I suggest to stay clear. Plenty of players, especially free to play, left, and then I guess this is supposed to be like 2 different sentences or a comma here. Hold on, let me fix my mic. And server merges took place, which again, server merges are normal for most mobile games. Moving on. While there are some quality of life fixes, wow, I did not get that the first time I read that. Quality of life fixes and tweaks. The whales are still so far ahead of the curve competitively that you have no chance when faced against them. So again, let's look at this at face value with this next comment here. Avoid battlegrounds. The game is no longer pay to win. Facts. It's a great action RPG game. This could not be more of the absolute truth, in my opinion. Yeah, most mobile games nowadays are pay to win. Sure, if you want to buy power, you can do that. But let's say you don't play as frequently as a whale. Are you really that pay to win? Probably not, because your legendary, your your Paragon level is going to be pretty low. Your gear level is going to be low. Your set crafting items are going to be low. Your Heliquary is not going to be where it needs to be. Just about everything in this game now, especially with the new legendary essence transfers, that's going to be nowhere near where it needs to be. One could argue, though, as a pay to win, you do get more magic find, which would then lead to more legendaries. But again, you still got to be playing the game to get those legendaries, and it's just a % chance. So keep that in mind, especially with the buffs that came in with Treasure Hunter. I would argue that that's less impactful than it used to be, but all in all, I totally agree with this bottom comment here. Avoid battlegrounds, and it's no longer pay to win. It's you're paying to have progress, essentially, is how I would put it. But it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. It's pay to win in PvP. That's how I feel about it. Moving on. So Essence Mastery. This one I thought was a really, really good comment, and I wanted to go ahead and bring some life to it. So Essence Mastery. Goodbye class change. Every single patch it's some half-baked system that is introduced. Now Essence Mastery, which will be a huge part of the game, is class locked, which means if you spend a lot of time on one character and then class change, you have to regrind the whole Essence Mastery for that class. That is just insane. If you have a class change system, then all other systems introduced should factor in the class change. I disagree. So what's the first comment here? This is good. Now you have more ways to understand a better build for one class. I don't like class changing because it needs to change. If it needs you to change, reforge gems, etc. I mean, not necessarily. But again, so for this comment, I agree with the title is what I should have led with here. His feelings about some half-baked system. I mean, that's a little harsh. There are bugs in the game, but nowhere near as many bugs as, let's say Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like, that game isn't even mobile and it's struggling. Warzone 2 in particular is struggling big time. But that's a conversation for a different time. I do think, however, at the core root of the question they're asking or stating here, the Essence Mastery is a deterrent to the class change system. Now, if you are interested in Diablo Immortal because you want to try out different classes, you can do that. But you're also then probably not aiming to be top DPS, the best in PvP, best in PvE. You just want to try new things in a Diablo Essence in Diablo Immortal, which you can still do. Like Blizzard said, this Essence Mastery system is intended for the grinders. People wanted to reward the grinders for grinding, and that is exactly what you got. Now, does this in change affect the class change system for someone like me who is a content creator and I want to make several different builds? Yeah, I probably won't be making as many build videos, which part of me is good. There's some of the classes I just personally don't enjoy playing, but that doesn't mean that I can't experience those different classes. If I want to just experience them, I can just do an alt, which I do have 2 alts that are, Paragon level, whatever. And I use those to experience 2 other classes, one being the Demon Hunter and one being the Necromancer. And then if I do want to make a build video, again, just for my personal situation, I can also, use the community and talk to someone who knows what they're talking about to make a build video from their experience. So it doesn't have to be all on me. So, I think that this is a good change to the game. I think it is a necessary RNG addition that makes the Diablo Immortal grind more beneficial, because the buffs you're getting from these different mastery levels are very, very, very strong, which I know it's going to sound like I'm sort of talking out of both sides of my mouth here. But for those that, again, are going to grind, there is a benefit. So I think that is a good thing. Let me know what you can think in the comments below. This was a pretty intense one that I did want to bring up. Some of the later ones are going to be kind of funny, but this is one that I did want to bring up anyway. I was tempted to make my own video, but in good faith, I figured it was already on here in the Reddit forums. Might as well talk about it in the Reddit recap. Let's move forward. So which class do you hate to fight most in PvP? It looks like Monk won by a long shot. I didn't even get to vote. It just wouldn't let me. So fun fact there. Looks like Necro came in second, and then everyone else is about even. I would agree, actually, although I would think Wizards should be a little bit higher. Even with some of the buffs to the other classes, I do think that I would go probably Monk, Wizard, then Necro. I mean, Necro is annoying, but I mean, Wizard could delete you. And then same with Demon Hunter. I would say the two that are like kind of okay to like just avoid is Barb and Crusader. They're nice to have on your team, and they have a certain role to play in PvP, but I don't hate to fight against them. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with sentiment? Is Monk OP? Well, let's talk about that in this next post right now. So what happens when you don't balance classes? That is all monks in this game. And MVP was 21, 6, and 13, 9, 5, and 28. Yeah. So there's that. I wanted to go ahead and deliberately show you this image after the first one. So that thought that was quite interesting. Moving on. All right. So how is this allowed to happen? Impossible for any of us to damage it, and no portal to leave vault spawns. So this was actually an issue that I also experienced in the vault. Some of the enemies are spawning sort of off the edge. What we did was we just did a bunch of AoE damage on the side here, and eventually it died from the AoE damage. The reason that the portal isn't there is because you haven't cleared that floor. So it's definitely a problem and super annoying. Actually, this looks like it might even be from my server. Maybe, I don't know. Either way. But yeah, so it happens. This is, bugs happen with new updates in all games. This is a pretty annoying one, but not a game breaking one. But yeah, I have definitely experienced it. And like I said, personally, our team was able to just AoE the heck out of it on the ground and then move on with our life. So there's that. Last one. So this one is a video, Invisible Monk hitting you from below the ground. XD, what a feature, Blizzard. So I'll go ahead and play it real quick. You see the monk there, and one could argue that it's actually the Necro's fault for the bone pillar making him go off screen like that. But again, now he's under the ground. He's still trying to figure out where he went, and he's just taking an absolute beating there. Then it obviously dies to the Necro here, or one of the two. So yeah, definitely this has been in the game for a while. It's definitely pissed off a lot of people. So obviously before we get any new PvP, I think current PvP should be fixed, but this is something that has been in the game for a long time. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today's Reddit recap. Let me know which of these, or if you have any specific comments on any of these topics. I will entertain anything and everything in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, as I do bring you daily Diablo Immortal content. And do me a huge favor, like I said in the beginning, smash that like button. Until next time, guys, lock it in.